It's Monday the 25th of January 2021. Welcome to another Timeware Community podcast. My name's Simon Birchall, and as usual, sat opposite me is Mike Coop. How's it going, Mike?
Good. Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
How are the wedding plans going?
In progress.
They're in progress. Brilliant.
Don't want to share too much, just spoil it.
Okay, today I thought we'd just have a quick talk about timeware managed service. I know we've covered this before, but there's been one or two changes recently. I think it'd be worth going through them again. Okay, so first of all, what is the timeware managed service, Mike? What's the...
It's basically offering support to people.
Yeah.
And it's obviously telephone support, but also on site.
It's a complete service. Service. So, whereas in the past, it's we would train people on how to set up period schedules.
We used to do administrator training.
We used to do the admin training, and now we don't do that.
No.
It's a lot of the systems are so complex now. It's unfair to expect the end users to be able to
set up shifts.
That's it, especially with all the customization that we do now.
Yeah.
So we introduced a managed service a few years ago, and it's taken off really well. And slowly, we're moving people from the old support system to the new. Certainly, all the new customers that come on board, that's the standard.
Yeah.
We don't offer anything else. So let's cover the points that the managed service include. So first of all, if somebody has a problem with let's go back a step. Let's say somebody's moving from the older support to managed service. What would happen first of all?
Okay, so if they're an existing customer, if obviously it was an initial inquiry in how to become a managed service, you'd speak to Charlotte on support.
Yep.
And then what would happen is it'd come through to projects.
Yes.
We'd then be in contact to arrange a meeting.
Yes.
This can be done via Teams or on site.
Okay.
And we'd be working out how we need to lock down the system.
Okay. So we'd want to have a look at how the system was configured, because some of the systems have been in for 15, 16, whatever years, and we'd want to go in, make sure that the systems were configured correctly.
And the permissions were correct.
That's right. So one of the problems that we've seen with customers that have had systems for a long time, when they've been developing their own schedules and absence codes and whatever, things haven't been brilliant. The system still operates okay, but it's sort of held together with sellotape and string. And what we do is we go in and we just do a complete review, like a health check, don't we?
Yeah, so it can be, obviously, there's an initial check, which is like a meeting, and then after that we actually come back to site and do the actual work, and tidy it up.
So, and so that would be that's the first step. So the customer approaches us. We would organise a Teams meeting or a physical meeting, depending on what the customer wants, and we would all have a look at the way the system's been configured. And at the very worst, we'd have to spend some time cleaning this up, and that would be part of there'd be a cost element for that, wouldn't there?
Yeah.
And then there's an ongoing cost element, and it all depends on the numbers of calls that the customer's made in the past.
The amount of users that can log
that's
the
it.
call, that sort of stuff.
Okay, so a very small company who's been reporting few faults, it would be a relatively small cost. Large cost customer with lots of people who have got administration rights who can
ability to do a change request.
Yes. Okay, so that's how it would start. So once we've been in and tidied up a system, if the customer had any problems, what would they do? I guess there's two types of contact, aren't there? So there's the approved contacts, but one of them is a contact that can make change requests. And one of them is a regular user. So when we sign somebody up on a managed service, we expect them to provide us with a list of approved contacts. How many people can make change requests?
You can have as many as you want.
So some of the larger sites might have 10 approved contacts. 10 people can make change requests. I must say, the more people that can make change requests, the more complicated it can become, because you have to rely on those people talking to each other. So the fewer people, the better, really. Okay. So if it's a normal support call, office phones are open. Is it 8:30 till 5:30?
Yeah.
We have an online login system, ticketing system. Yeah. Okay. And if somebody wants to make, or let's say the call comes in, and I think everybody knows by now the way we handle the call. So if you make that initial call to the support department, Charlotte will usually take that call, and she'll take the details and then allocate a slot, a 1 hour slot. Yeah. And at the moment we're operating within about a 24 to 48 hour period. Priority is given to the managed service people, but we're responding to calls within up to 48 hours. We can also, calls can be planned in advance, can't they? So if say you're only working certain days, you could reserve a slot for a week on Wednesday.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
Okay, so that system works really well. A change request. So imagine somebody wants a new shift setting up. Are they allowed to just ring us and ask for that?
No.
No.
They have to ring us and obviously say that we want to put in a change request.
Okay, and that gives us time to ask them
questions
about the way they want the system.
There's a series of questions that will be formed.
Okay, so typically a customer might email in saying we've got some shifts that need changing. Yeah. The shifts are going to kick in on the 1st of February, it might be the middle of January, and that would be we'd plan that in a cost.
So probably if you emailed in a request for shifts, Charlotte would arrange an initial call with the customer. We'd just be going over what the requirements are. Okay. So it's kind of like a mini meeting before we do the change.
And what's important, because of the level of customisation that a lot of these people have, it's imperative that things are discussed.
Yeah, we have to get all the rules right, or it's going to cause a problem.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So when we actually come to do the work, do we need the customer at the end of the phone?
Not actually to do the shift change, physically do the changes, but for the initial conversation. Yes.
Sure, okay. Yeah. So once we got the details, we would then plan in how we're going to make the change. And it might not just be a 1 hour slot. If it was very complex, we might have 2 people working on it over a certain number of days. That's it, that's all included in the cost. The type of changes that we make, the type of changes that we would make to, what does a change request cover?
Yeah, okay, so you've got, I'll go into most of them. You've got, for example, daily schedules.
Yeah. So shift changes.
Yeah. Daily schedules, shift changes, absences. So absence reasons.
Yes.
And absence entitlement policies.
The policies that are the more complex. Yeah.
And then you've got your user permissions. So if you get a new manager that needs to use timeware.
Yes.
All the permissions and the to-do list policies and email policies.
So just picking up on that, because I guess that's something that might happen, say, more frequently than an absence reason. Yeah. So somebody new joins the company, the person who's the chief administrator for timeware would just give us a call and say, we've got new guys working in HR. Yeah. Similar patterns to, similar access to somebody else with a few tweaks.
Yeah, and then we'd make them changes. Because obviously if you get that, if the customer had that the right to change everything like that, you could get a manager seeing
information about that's it, that he doesn't need to see. Okay, what other things are covered by the change request? So we've got shifts, we've got absences.
You've got your terminal policies, so they're basically terminal policies / access patterns of where someone can access.
What about, we don't set employees up on the system, but let's say you've got a company who has seasonal workers. And they're going to bring 200 people in. We can import them. So we'd work with people to import the data into the system and then set these people as leavers once
so we can manage it, tidying it up, and obviously doing the mass import of data.
Okay. Anything else that's on general managed service? No,
not really. You got your
change request on change request.
It's everything that's a policy. Really,
anything that's complicated, we do for the customer. Okay. All right, so other points that are covered by managed service. We've covered the support calls. We also we upgrade the software on a yearly basis. So we agree with the customer which is an acceptable month, and then a couple of months before that we contact the customer. That's usually Carl, customer liaison officer, will contact the customer and plan the SLA upgrade. We can't perform upgrades remotely, can we? It's
not the level of customers now.
No, it's it's too dangerous, really. If something goes wrong, it's a business critical application.
Got that, and then you've got your clients, haven't you?
Well, that's it. That's another thing we do with the managed service clients. We upgrade their clients, the PC. So every PC. So if a customer's got 32 clients,
we'll do all 32.
Yeah, we do 32, and that's a 2-day job, or it might be one day for a couple of people. Okay. So we've got an annual visit for the upgrade, and we also have a post installation meeting, and we have a number of those throughout the year, depending on the complexity of the site.
Yeah.
So some of our larger sites have maybe 3 post-install visits per year, and again, they're done either physical, so face-to-face, or via Teams. And the purpose of those is to make sure systems are operating correctly.
Yeah.
It's not a support call. The support department keep the system running if there's any problems. This is to make sure the customer's aware of any new features that we've introduced, and also making sure if we've had a change of policy, if we've invented something new that we can talk to the customer, we think the customer will be interested in. It's not a sales pitch, it's more something what else is available, and usually what's available for free as part of the package.
And then the key point of that is it's always the implementation guy.
It's the guy who's the person, the guy who ran the project, rather than being a support person. The person who actually configured the system. We offer Teams training now. So if you've got new people joining the company, or you've got people in the company who are maybe not as proficient as others in certain aspects of timeware, you can organise with the support of the customer care team. You can organise a training session. These again are in 1 hour slots, and this is free. It's all built. It's part of the package. If you want us to come on site, that's different. We're going to have to make a charge. But if it's remote training, what's really good is you could have 2 or 3 people. We don't have to train them at the same time.
We can do different sessions.
That's it. If you wanted 3 2-hour sessions, it's not a problem. I would talk to Charlotte and we could work together on that. Obviously, we've got the customer care calls, and they're really productive. Again, Carl Briggs, I mentioned him earlier. He is really good at this. So this is just a simple call to the customer: is everything okay? And it acts as a sort of, it self-polices us, doesn't it? We make sure we've not missed anything. And it's just there just to make sure everything's okay. And then obviously we send out the Timelines magazine on a sort of quarterly basis. And is there anything else that I've missed on there?
I think you've covered
pretty much covered everything. So the support team's on 8:30 till 5:30. What about accessing people's PCs? I know in the past we've used TeamViewer. Just talk to me about this. So this is when we need to take control of somebody's PC.
So for remote access, we've got a couple of scenarios. So some of the larger customers, we have direct remote desktop connections. So that's a Microsoft facility.
Right.
So you're looking at the larger end of customers. And then for some of the SLA3, some of the SLA2s, you've got TeamViewer, and you can remote on via TeamViewer. So there's a link on the website where the end user would click and then it connects us on, and it's just a remote view. That's what
some people don't like that, do they? Some of the customers.
Some people are coming away from TeamViewer because there's people are saying there's a little bit of a security risk to it, which is through the ports.
And what are we moving towards then?
I think we were looking at, we do like the remote desktop connection the best, because obviously it's like us being in front of the PC.
But do we use Microsoft Teams?
We could use Teams for it,
Yes.
We can use Teams for
it. So that's not set in stone. If the IT's got a preferred method, that's
some ITs love TeamViewer, and
that's it.
They'll just go TeamViewer all the way.
Okay, so is that pretty? Do you think that covers it all?
That's it. We are open as well to using any remote desktop software. So some customers don't want us to use any of them free methods.
They've got their own system,
and they give us a resource to actually connect. And we're open with that.
All right. And if anybody is interested in finding out more about the managed service, then the best person to speak to will be Charlotte initially in customer care. If it's the normal number, that's 0044 1706. 658-222 or email support@timeware.co.uk. Is there anything else we need to cover?
I think that's it.
Great, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Bye bye.